Changing your life is one of the hardest things that you ever have to do. But you still gotta do it. When you're changing your life, people are not gonna understand you. People don't get you. You're not even gonna understand yourself. When you're going through a different level of growth and changes in life, it literally exposes you to a new person. You start becoming a whole new being. Things that you used to find funny, you don't find funny no more. Things that you used to do for excitement, they don't excite you no more. And even that, as an experience, even that plays on a psychological brain so much. You know, they say that we have a servo mechanism, which is the same thing that they place in missiles to reach their target, right? So if your servo mechanism has, for your whole life, has been geared one way, and now you change that, psychologically, you're not going to recognize yourself. Psychologically, you're going to have trouble understanding what's happening to you. And as you change more and you grow more, things become more confusing. Remember, the body keeps score, I've said it before. So we automatically want to go back to our old self. It's easier. We have comfort there. In fact, our old self has been so comforting, it's literally survival mode. So the body wants to take us back there. The mind wants to take us back there. The brain's saying, hold on a sec, what's happening here? I don't get this. I don't understand this new you. Let me start giving you old thought patterns to think of. And these are the things we have to avoid. These are the pitfalls we have to avoid. These are the traps we have to avoid. Another trap we have to avoid is that people will start making fun of you. They'll start mocking you. Of course, misery loves company. So why not mock somebody that is now starting to show good signs of promise? You know, hold on a sec, they're changing. I don't want them to change. So I'm going to, say something to, bring them back to life or bring them back down. That's why they say crabs in a barrel. Because if you have crabs in a barrel, each one hooks onto each other and pulls the other one down. You can't let that happen to you when you're trying to change. You can't allow that to happen to you when you are trying to change. Remember, change isn't for them, change is for you. And if you're serious about changing, these are the ebbs and flows and the things that come with it. Microphone is dead, people, and the battery in the camera is about to die as well. So we're gonna see how it goes with the audio just from the camera. There's a good chance I might have to remake this video, but I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna let it derail me. I'm not gonna let it knock me off of my focus. I set out to do a video today, and I'm gonna do it. So it may be a bit noisy, a bit noisier, but let's continue. So change is good. Change is needed. But as you change, you'll also start to notice different things. Yes, people will pull away from you. That's a negative and a positive at the same time. It'll make you feel negative, but it really is positive. Because what happens is you start shredding the loose weight. Perfect example of how to say it. Shedding the loose weight. Things that don't serve you anymore. Okay? And another thing that will happen is you'll start noticing that your light that you are now starting to turn up within yourself is now attracting people to you. So, people start asking you questions. Like, oh, how did you lose so much weight? Or, how come you look so good? Or, to give you compliments. And that is your light, or even asking you for advice. And that's your light within inside you, because you've been changing, because you've been turning it up. That is now starting to attract people. But the only thing about that is, which is good, it's good to attract light. It attracts people because you want to serve as a lighthouse for others. The only problem with that is that, troubled souls also flock to light. It's fine. It's fine, but that can drain your energy. And as you're trying to change, you don't need your energy to be drained. You need to be in full flow. And the only way to be in full flow would be to set your boundaries. The only way to be in full flow would be to, keep going on the path that you are going, keep learning and looking into things, and keep doing more of the same thing. what happens is we experience a little bit of change. We're like, no, we don't want no more. It's too much. You know, I want to go back to my comfort zone. I go back to survival mode. That's not where it's at. It takes a really brave person and a really courageous person to want to change their life. Probably be one of the best things you could ever do. Before I started changing my life, I realized I couldn't even speak properly. I didn't even know how to speak proper English. I used to swear every other sentence. F in this, F in that, F in this, F in that. Until I realized that, you know, the onus is on me to change my life. You know, I realized that nobody was coming to save me. I realized that I had to take accountability of my actions. I realized that I had to, you know, think and accept the things that got me in the trouble that I got into. Once I was able to do that, I was able to take accountability. Once I took accountability, I was able to forgive myself. Once I was able to forgive myself, I was able to forgive others. Once I was able to forgive others, that was it. I grew exponentially, so fast. It was unbelievable because I done the work. You know, I done the work. And we're living in a society today where it's so difficult. They don't want you to change. Society doesn't want you to change, so you have to be even more diligent. You have to be even more focused. You have to be even more, you know, wanting to change. You have to be even more wanting to change. That's bad English. So you have to want to change even more. You know, you have to be motivated more. You have to be more disciplined. You have to be more focused. Because society wants us the opposite of that. They want us undisciplined, unfocused. Why? Because that way we wouldn't get anything done. And that's where society wants us, in a place where we're not getting things done, where we're just conforming, when we're just going along with the norms. We just do everything everybody else does because we're sheep and followers. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of us are sheep and followers. And I could give you a small example, but you know, probably might not be the best one. But let's look at Instagram, for example, or TikTok. Everyone has more followers than people they're following. Let me say that again. We look on Instagram accounts, everyone's followers, people that are following them is more than the number of the people that they follow. There's nothing wrong with that, but it just shows you. One time my little brother called me, he said, bro, you have to get rid of some of your following, people that you're following. I said, why? He said, you need to bring the number down because the number's too close to the number of people following you. And I'm like, who designed that, bro? Who said that has to be the case? You know? And that's the thing about me, is I also think outside of the box. I don't just conform, I don't just go with the crowd. That's not for me. And once I stop going with the crowd, that's when I experience the most growth in my life. So we can change, we can grow, we can get better, we should get better, we should be trying to endeavor to get better every day, we should be trying to get at least 1% better each day. That's doable. I believe that's 37% better over the course of a year, just 1% a day, I believe. I'll have to check that out again. And, you know, imagine that over 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, constant and consistent upgrading of oneself, whilst forgiving yourself and giving yourself grace. You can't beat that. You can't beat that feeling. So I don't know who needed to hear this video. I don't know who's watching. But if you did like it or you like anything I've said, please drop a comment, subscribe. Just let me know your thoughts on it. You know, I'll be doing more videos on change. Like I said, the microphone's battery's dead at the moment, so I don't even know if this footage is being captured with the correct audio. And, don't let anybody derail you from your changes. Don't let anybody. People always have something to say. People always have something to say. They would never not say nothing. Hear me now. Because who don't hear must feel. And who does hear will feel. Positive is the new gangster.